see me?
Yeah.
Where did I hear you say that? Oh wait, no, here we go. Say something. Bless you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, now I can hear you great.
It's really nice to see you, Ben.
Yeah, good to see you. We both got like the E drum kits behind us.
Yeah, buddy, I'm learning drums now.
For anywhere but here, you can come if you want a room for this baggage. I'm sick of this country. How about you? I want a one-way flight straight out of
You can play drums, huh?
I wouldn't say that in public if there was a drum kit around and somebody asked me to play it. But I have been learning. I did all the drum tracks on my songs, so that's why they're all simple and shitty. But
You've always played the drums though for your thing, right?
I always have when I started recording music, but it's only been the last 5 years or so. Somebody, not so many, but definitely a few of my songs have come together just because like I was messing around on the drum kit and I'm like, oh, that's a cool beat. And so, some songs have started from just like, okay, I need to write a song that works with that drum beat.
And do you play the entirety of the song, or does it get looped eventually, or how does that work with drum?
I play the entirety of the song. My drum kit has MIDI capabilities. Everybody tells me that that's definitely the way to go when it comes to recording drums, right? Because you can move a beat around and all this kind of thing if you're off a little bit. As a keen listener might be able to tell from any of my recordings, I have not messed around with that yet. And so, get like nice comments on SoundCloud where people will say there's a nice like live feel. I think what they mean by that is like, we can hear you fucking up, but
it's like saying your house is cozy. It's like, oh, thanks.
Forget the ground. There's no sound. Don't turn around.
The good thing is it just makes you feel so cool, right? Like the simplest beat on drums, and you're like, yeah, I'm a cool guy now.
Once I record it, because when I'm playing, I got my prop stick, so when I'm playing, I'm like, dude, and I'm feeling it. And then after you hear recording back, like, oh, that wasn't as cool as it felt when I was playing it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
That's what I sound like.
Hands in your bunker. The only thing that's hurting you is this grim truth. Great at you. So
I don't know. I think there's a lot of value, and I think you do this with your own music, and just for better or for worse, recording every part yourself. Obviously, the big fantasy would be like, oh, you blew up on SoundCloud and suddenly you have millions of listeners and some awesome record company wants you to go on tour and you need a band. But it's really cool to do the small thing, and you can play all your parts and you don't have to worry about like who's going to play what on stage, or you don't have to fight with bandmates, drummers not showing up to practice.
Exactly.
I know just what I'm gonna do.
So, how's the new album coming? You just have this one song, or you have a bunch of songs?
I think I've got 6 or 7, and my first 2 albums were each 11 songs, so I'm kind of so that would put me a little over halfway, I think, if I'm kind of shooting for the same number. I hope to avoid the thing that so many artists do, which is like their first albums sound raw and a little messed up, but they're always the best ones, and so it's almost like the more of this stuff you learn, I get anxious that like the more I learn, the more I'm gonna mess up,
But all I see is footprints open, but they let you just go.
I don't know that, regardless of somebody's political affiliation or whatever version of the nightmare you're living right now, I think there's that kind of like desire to escape not only American politics, but global politics, and escape the prominent figures that are influencing those politics. And then, so part of the idea is just, that the song maybe has verses that at least start off with the kind of what I would describe as like a jaunty, guitar part and that kind of thing. But the depressing, the lyrics themselves, I think, are pretty depressing. Part of the song is, I think there's a part about, I could fly first class even to the moon, but something I'd only get there to realize you'd be there soon. Like we could even head off to space, and all we're going to see is a bunch of corporate junk floating around, and Elon Musk's flag will be planted up there somewhere, and there'll be no that just the idea that there's not really any place to escape to. I think that there's always been this fantasy, at least in the U.S. I don't know if it's a global thing or not, about well, if things get too messed up, we'll just go somewhere else. And I don't know if there is a real somewhere else anymore. Anyway.
Turn around, you'll be found by the
Got a lot of affinity for dark humor, I guess, and just partly, at least in that song Expat, is just that there's some silly lines about I could lay down in my hammock, thaw out in the Antarctic, but all I'd see is footprints so bootlicked they look chewed, something like that. It's kind of it's a fucked up world, but there's plenty of room for humor. I guess another way to say that is, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, really.
But, and I think it sounds really pretentious to say this, whether we're talking about music or art or whatever, right? People that feel, for example, like they're stuck in a certain political climate that they can't escape. I mean, that's a great time to write a song.
Find out just what stinks. One look at your online comments. Here's what I think. You can hide behind your keyboard, stock cans in your bunker. The only thing that's hurting you is this grim truth, that the fact of the matter, it's all about you. That you blame it on those others. That's what you do. You only care about your money. You brag that you're efficient. You don't even see your own barrels pointed straight at you.
You sent me a message, was it last week, where you said something about you're riding your bike in the evening in Hamburg, and you said you were listening to my tunes, and you described this like wonderful summer evening, and I forget, you mentioned what's that movie with
Well, it's the bike one.
Yeah, Justin
Silver.
Yeah, and like a comment like that is like, what else do I need to make music for except to imagine some dude halfway across the world riding his bike and jamming out, and that's enough for me.
By the crown, we're deep down. I know just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pack up my suitcase for anywhere but here. Just go real slow. Forget the ground.
All right, Ben, take care of yourself. Be safe.
You too, Mike.